Hey tankers, Party is here, and today we're going to be taking a look at this tank, the bad Châtillon Bourrasque. I'm going to talk about the awesome, the good, the bad, and the awful thing about the vehicle. So let's get started with this replay. So, alright, well, the Bourrasque. Let's start with the awesome thing about the vehicle, right? What is awesome about this tanker? Okay, the awesome about the tank, firstly, does the tank looks good? It looks pretty good in my opinion, right? Look, oh my god, it looks so great. It's just such a beautiful tank, and that's the awesome thing about the vehicle. That's the really first one. Alright, next thing is the alpha damage. This tank is an auto-loader tank. It has 2 shells in the magazine with 2 seconds in the clip reload. Each shell can do 360 damage. So, this means that this tank can be able to deliver 720 alpha in 2 seconds after the first shot. That is very powerful, right? Definitely a great thing. Next thing is the speed of this tank. This tank has 62 top speed and 23 reverse speed right there. Okay, we could be fine with that. Alright, 23 reverse speed. This tank reverses really quickly. You hardly see any tank with that kind of reverse speed in the world of tank. So, pretty good, right? And, well, it's not just the top speed that is good. This tank has 25.77 base specific power. This means that this tank can race up on top of the hill at the top speed or some kind of that stuff. Like, this specific power is one of the best in the game. You can't really find this kind of powerful specific power in World of Tanks as well. This thing speed is very good. Alright, so yeah, that's all the awesome thing about the vehicle. What next? Well, let's talk about the good thing. This tank has a lot of good aspects to talk about. First, the DPM. This vehicle, although it has nice alpha, it doesn't suffer from the bad DPM though. This tank has 1835 base DPM, which means, well, it is actually has better DPM than possibly a majority of a heavy tank out there, and you actually have like a compatible DPM to beat the medium tanks as well sometimes, and you don't have to sit there and fire at them and try to just fight, right? You just tap 2 shells and then you go somewhere else, disappear, and you come back and shoot again. This tank doesn't suffer with that. Alright, next thing is the accuracy on the move. You can see that my reticle doesn't really bloom out that much, right? Yeah, of course, because the tank, this person on the move, on the turning turret and turning the tank is actually really good. So yeah, we can really just snapshot those tanks really easily. The tank that you don't have to aim at a specific point. This vehicle can just clearly just remove those vehicles really quickly indeed. And next thing is the reload time. Well, we talk about the DPM, and it doesn't have bad reload time, although it's the autoloader, because it has just 2 shells though, right? 2 shells, you tap 2 shells, and then you have 21.54 base reload time, which is not long. It's not that long considering the alpha or the power that you can have on this vehicle. So alright, next up is the gun caliber. The gun caliber of this tank is 105mm. This means that you can be able to just auto aim at the straight fang S1 and pen it nearly every single time that you hit that vehicle. So that is definitely an advantage there. Another thing is the shell velocity. This tank has good shell velocity with the standard APCR. It has 1,000 km per hour. Is it kilometer per hour? I guess it is. It has 1,000 km per hour shell velocity there. And with the premium APCR, it has 1,250, which is, wow, it's just way better than the standard one, right? So yeah, if you're willing to find a premium route, you're gonna have that premium shell velocity as well. So do keep that in mind. Alright, next thing is view range. This vehicle has 390 base view range, which means you don't need coated optics, you don't need any equipment to boost up the view range of this tank. right? You can just try to improve every single thing else. So you have enough view range to be able to play. You can reach 445 meters, which is the maximum spotting range, easily without the need to have any view range equipment on this vehicle. Alright, wow, so many stuff to talk about this tank, about a good one, right? Next thing is the camouflage. I'm not spotted here, right? I mean, like they're further away, and there's a lot of birds behind, like between them and me. But well, this tank camouflage is actually pretty good as well. This tank has 19 stationary and 40 on the move base though. But if you use the concealment crew, you use the food, you use the vents. I don't know if I use the vents or not, I can't remember, sorry. If you use every single thing to boost that up, it can go up to 40 stationary and 30 moving. So yeah, you can be a light tank on these tanks as well, right? That's really good. Last stuff, or the good one, the size of this vehicle is not a big tank. Yeah, and sometimes the enemy will miss, right? It's because it's not a big tank. Then if you are fighting with something with like a screen side reticle, sometimes they're gonna miss. So that is also a good thing. Alright, we talked too much about the awesome thing about the vehicle. Let's start with the bad thing. Yeah. First, what's the bad thing about the vehicle? The gun. Hey, did I just say about it has a good gun? Well, one of the gun aspect of this tank that is bad is the penetration. This tank has just 190mm of standard penetration, but if you are willing to load that premium round, you can be able to get 240 penetration, which is, I think, is more than enough for this vehicle to nearly pen everything that it can actually meet, right? Maybe not frontally, because you have the speed, you can just try to flank them and yeah, get that penetration to work. So yeah, you keep that in mind if you play this vehicle. Sometimes you're gonna need to load a lot of premium round, or maybe just use the premium round. Well, I didn't really do that. Anyway, next thing is the accuracy. Well, you just say about the accuracy of this tank is good. Yes, but actual accuracy of this vehicle is 0.4 base, which means you kind of suffer from sniping at long range if you need to aim at the specific point of the vehicle. This tank, although it has good dispersion value on the move, but when you aim it fully aim the tank, it's not accurate compared to a majority of the tank in the game, right? But if you can just tap the side of the heavy tank like that, well, sometimes you don't need to aim, right? That is really down to how you play the vehicle as well. Alright, next thing is the gun elevation, and the gun depression of this tank is quite poor. It has 13 degrees of gun elevation and just 6 degrees of gun depression. Well, if you know how to play the tank, if you know how to use the terrain inside the game, you can try to just get yourself to the place where you can use that gun depression and the gun elevation anyway. So yeah, but anything is something that you have to keep in mind, right? Next thing is the hit point of this vehicle. This tank has just 1,250 hit point, which is not a lot. You can't take a lot of shells. If you are willing to take some shells from the heavy tank, you might can stand just like 3 shells, 4 shells, and until you die, right? Well, but if you can do that, if you can just get their side, don't let them pay attention to you, and you can be able to do that. Alright, next thing is the weight of this tank. This tank weighs just 12 ton. Well, that is just like the Châtillon 12 ton, right? The Châtillon 12T, which is the Châtillon 12 ton, it weighs it's the same as the light tank. So don't ram, right? Do keep that in mind. Your weight, I believe, it's actually lighter than the EBR, which weighs 15 tons. So you can't even ram the EBR on this vehicle, right? And last thing, the awful thing about this vehicle is just one aspect, in my opinion, is the armor. Yeah, you don't have armor and you don't expect to bounce tail, so keep that in mind. That's all. Well, maybe we can talk a little bit of about the gameplay right here. So I don't want to cap because I don't want the easy win, and doesn't seem like my T-Fit before Mod 1 friends is happy about that, right? He tried to tap me twice there, but luckily Wargaming removed the team damage from the game already, so I don't get tapped by him thanks to that. So yeah, I try to distract the E75 right here to get more damage for me and to try to win as well, because if he get there in the cap circle and he can be able to reset, maybe it's gonna be hard for us to win, but maybe not. Well, I don't know. Alright, so I think after he fight, well, okay, this is my time. I can be able to get him, I can be able to get his butt and kill him. Can I? Okay, one more shot, I need one more shot, one last shot. I need a clean shot, so I just received one shell from him and then boom, right to the side of the E75 right there, and secure the win to this battle. Alright, what do you think about this vehicle? I believe that this vehicle is very, very good in the good hand, right? This vehicle has very big alpha. This vehicle has very good mobility. So if you know how to use those advantages, this thing is gonna be one of the most overpowered tank in the game. But that's not the case for everybody, right? I'm sure this tank will also be a good tank for the guys like that just sit behind the bush and try to shoot some things as well, because you can be a tank destroyer on this tank. 720 alpha, right? Double tap and try to do that again. Well, it can be everything. It can be light tank, it can be medium tank, it can be tank destroyer. Well, maybe it can't be heavy tank though. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, that's all about this vehicle. I think it is one of the most powerful tank, premium tank at tier 8 in the game right now. So what do you think about this vehicle though? So do you want to get it, or you already get it in a mission marathon and you love playing it so much? So leave a comment down below to let me know your opinion about this tank, right? And yeah, if you want some more gameplay just like this, feel free to join me on twitch.tv/partygoodeye. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next battle. Bye bye.